General Hospital spoilers, Friday, March 18 recap, Willow collapses after Michael's arrest, Phyllis recognizes Lorraine Miller. General Hospital, GH, spoilers recap for Friday, March 18, reveals that Willow date, Caitlin McMullen, collapsed after Michael Corinthus, Chad Jewell, Ar.rest, and Phyllis Caulfield, Joyce Dye, recognized Lorraine aka Harmony Miller, Priscilla Garita. At Charlie's Pub, Harmony joined Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrous, who suggested they should meet since they had someone in common. When Harmony asked who it was, Nina brought up their grandson and wondered who Harmony thought she meant. Nina ultimately shifted gears and insisted that her problem could also be Harmony's problem. Nina felt they both wanted the same thing, to spend time with Wiley Quartermain Corinthus, Verone Weaver. Harmony admitted Michael and Willow let her see Wiley from time to time, when it was convenient. Nina thought they could make it so they would never have to grovel and could get the visitation they rightfully deserved. Harmony said she couldn't afford a lawyer, even if she wanted one. However, Nina argued that with Sonny Corinthus, Maurice Bennard, in her corner and Harmony's sway with Willow, they could make this happen outside of court. Nina reflected on losing her daughter before she ever got to know her and felt that Harmony could help her at least be close to her daughter's child. Since Nina insisted it would mean the world to her, Harmony seemed to be getting on board. Suddenly, Phyllis walked over and marveled as she recognized Lorraine Miller. Phyllis seemed amazed to see this familiar face at Nina's table. At the hospital, Smoltz the slimy reporter kept trying to get quotes for his story. TJ Ashford, Taj Bello, joined Jordan Ashford, Tanisha Harper, and found out what was up, but Smoltz walked away without the statement he wanted. Nearby, Michael talked to Willow about their imminent Paris trip and what they'd do with Wiley while they were gone. Michael mentioned that Monica Quartermain, Leslie Charleson, had insisted on watching Wiley, but Willow brought up how Harmony was trying and seemed open to her being in Wiley's life more. When Smoltz spotted Michael, he muttered about hitting paydirt and approached him for a quote about his sister's scandal. Willow kept trying to get Michael on the elevator, but he listened as Smoltz talked about Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, and Cameron Weber's William Lipton steamy leaked video. Smoltz went too far by suggesting that maybe Jocelyn wanted the whole world to rate her performance. When Smoltz declared that Joss was quite the athlete, Michael delivered a fierce punch and sent the guy hurling into the wall. Smoltz cried assault just as Jordan and TJ appeared. Michael was unapologetic and felt that Smoltz should be lucky it wasn't worse. Willow wanted Michael to leave with her, but Jordan said he wasn't going anywhere and arrested him on the spot. Although Willow argued that Michael was provoked, Jordan read him his rights and took him away in handcuffs. Before the elevator doors shut, Michael said that whoever did this to his sister would pay, finally giving Smoltz the great quote he was after. At Spring Ridge, Esme Prince, Avery Kristen Pohl, ranted about Spencer Cassadine, Nicholas Chavez, buying the baseless accusation against her. Spencer wanted Esme to look him in the eye and tell him that she had nothing to do with the video. Esme acted like their history should be enough and recalled how she was there for Spence when no one else was. Esme suggested she fell for a boy and saw the potential for Spencer to be a man, but now she thought maybe she was wrong. Esme eventually saw that Spencer had written to our shared passion in the book. Trina Robinson, soon to be Tabayana Ali, had returned to him. That enraged Esme, who wondered if Spencer would have kissed Trina to demonstrate their shared passion if she hadn't come back when she did. Spencer insisted the passion he shared with Trina was art and felt like Esme was twisting everything. Spencer wanted boring and basic. Esme invited him to have at it. Spencer reminded Esme that she never answered his question about the video, but she snapped that you don't always get what you want. Next, Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, and Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, had a flirty discussion where he admitted Sam was right about his ego getting in the way of asking Damian Spinelli, Bradford Anderson, for help. Sam knew Spinelli's skills could be useful in learning more about Operation Demeter, but she blamed Carly Corinthus, Laura Wright, for the botched mission and praised Dante for doing a great job. On the bridge, Carly remained sorry about ruining Drew Cain's, Cameron Matheson, Victor Cassadine, Charles Shaughnessy scheme. Drew was amazed at the way Carly just came blowing in like that and worried he could have hurt her, too. Carly didn't think Drew would have done anything to her, but he said things were beyond his control when his conditioning was activated. After Carly joked about activating Drew to set fire to Crimson's printing facility and drive Nina out of town, she admitted she wouldn't take away his free will. Drew talked about embracing his clean slate instead of focusing on what he'd lost, but he did regret only having 4 days to get to know Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, as his brother. Although Drew felt that was nothing compared to what Carly shared with him, she knew everyone had their own version of Jason. Drew and Carly acknowledged that Jason would have hated a memorial, but he would have put up with one for Monica's sake. They joked about having a signal to calm Carly down, so she was reminded of Jason when Drew's solution involved her taking a breath and counting to 10. Drew also offered to do a full security assessment for Carly at the Corinthus house, so she was receptive to the idea. There were definitely some flying sparks as Carly and Drew continued to connect. After stepping in a room for privacy at the hospital, Willow struggled to breathe and seemed to be having a panic attack. Willow dialed Carly's number to share the news of Michael's arrest, but Carly heard only silence when she picked up. GH fans then saw that Willow had collapsed on the floor and was unconscious next to her phone. At the Invader, Sean Butler, Sean Blakemore, brought up Harmony's meeting with Bucky, but Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Gran, already knew about the forgery. Alexis reminded Sean that he'd do anything for TJ, but Sean wondered if Harmony was doing this for Willow or just herself. As for any romantic reunion with Sean, Alexis made it clear that it wasn't happening, though she wished Sean the best on his San Francisco trip. General Hospital spoilers say Harmony could drag Alexis into more trouble soon, so stay tuned.